What is up, everybody? This is Mycophile Sage checking in here today, and I hope you guys are doing great. So I wanted to do a quick, I guess you could call it a state of the grow video, because there's a lot of updates. I've basically taken the most interesting things onto this table, and I'd like to show you how things are going. So over here, we're going to start with the classical PooCakes, right? The classical PooCake tech, and they haven't shown much activity. As I said, I've sort of given up on these guys, at least this round. So this was the first round where we got the fruiting. And we did get Primordia, and well, they sort of stalled there. So, you know, after casing, you want them to at least start showing continuous signs of fruiting. You know, from the point of Primordia, they should, you know, start turning into fruits, and they never did that. So that means that there's something that is not dialed in properly. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the next round. So thankfully I have two more PooCakes that just finished colonizing. So I cased them yesterday, and this time I'm going to do a jar and bag setup rather than bag on top of jar setup. So as you can see, it's like this, and you just open the top up here. There's a little slit here that I'm keeping open. And so I'm going to be trying that. So the thing with the poo lovers is they require a lot of FAE and a lot of moisture. They need a lot of evaporation as well. So it's just, everything is turned up to 11. And basically, it's kind of hard to do with a passive setup like this. So you know, as I said in my previous videos, the most ideal way to fruit poo lovers is through an automated setup, right? What I'm trying to do here is to make it simple but effective. So you don't, like, because it is quite a big thing to have a tent in your apartment or your house or whatever. And if you don't want to do that, you just want to have little amounts for personal experimentation, then this is fine. So hopefully I could get it to work. So basically I want to get the best yield with the simplest setup. So that means that, okay, ideally you would mist, like, this would be very, very moist. I actually did mist it quite a bit right now, more than I probably wanted to. But anyways, I gave up with these guys, so it doesn't really matter. It's with these guys that I care right now. So that means that I can't have the ideal amount of moisture that I would put if I were doing this in like a Martha, right? So I need to find a good balance between moist enough for it to fruit and dry enough for it to evaporate passively on its own. Basically, that's the point I need to get to. You know, basically like the amount that I could reduce it to, because I feel like there was just too much moisture and not enough FAE. So I'm going to reduce the moisture a little bit, so it'll be easier to evaporate, so there's less humidity near the surface, so that I could cycle the evaporation more frequently. Basically, I could have more evaporation going more frequently. And I forgot to mention, but I suspect that the jar and bag setup will probably most likely have less FAE than the bag on jar setup. So I will be physically cycling the air once or twice a day. I'm just going to, you know, take the bag up, open, and then close it, open, close it, just to get some fresh air in there. So that's basically the balance that I'm trying to reach right now. And over here, I'm also bag fruiting two of these steel mags that I'm going to be doing for the grow along, and for the Discord grow along. And basically they are colonizing fine. They're forming hyphal knots, you know. Got some rhizomycelium coming up for air, so they are looking fantastic, guys. And I'm planning on making another video about bag fruiting. So yeah, but I gotta say, you know, this is the first core lovers that I'm doing in quite a while now, so it feels good. It feels like coming home a little bit, because, you know, like, I don't really have to worry much about it, and I could just enjoy the process of just, you know, the mushrooms growing. And so, and the smell of the mycelium is very nice. I like the core lover mycelium smell. So yeah, that's basically what's going on that front. Now let's go to the grass lovers. So there's a lot of things going on with the grass lovers. Oh, by the way, this is also an example. I'm going to spawn this today. This is also steel mag, and I got 3 more jars right now. I got 4 more jars, but 3 of them I grain to grain because I want to make it into a monotub. So look out for that. So yeah, lots of steel mags coming soon. So let's go to the truffle lovers, sorry, the grass lovers. And as you can see, here's one genetic, MS1, multispore 1. It was from a clone fruit. This guy is an amazing truffle producer, I gotta say. Look at that, guys. Amazing truffle producing genetics. These guys are the ones that are in here, and as you can see, there's just like if you look at the bottom of this, it's just full of truffles. It's just ripping the substrate apart. And again, these guys are the ones that's not fruiting at all, even though they're such amazing fruiters in the cakes. I mean, look at that. I mean, I recased them, right, once, and they're just tearing the casing apart again because they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So with these guys, if you guys remember a couple days ago, I said that there's a little fruit coming here. As you can see over there, that's a little fruit. That guy. And it's not aborted or anything. It's just like it's growing so slowly. It's been growing maybe like, I don't know, 1/4 millimeter a day for like the last 5 days. I've never seen a fruit grow so slowly and not be aborted. So basically it is a very weird tub, very abnormal. So here's the plan that I intend to do. What I intend to do is I'm going to actually air it out. I'm going to dry it out and try to stimulate a drought condition for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to mist the crap out of it once it's, you know, completely dried out. That's the plan. Now here's the problem though. Here's the problem, is the fact that I already cased these guys, right? And this casing has been on here for quite a while. So if this dries out, then a lot of the microorganisms will also die out. And then once I mist it, then it's going to be vulnerable to all sorts of contaminations. At least that's what I believe. So I think I may trick out once I do this because I've already cased it. But it's an interesting experiment, and basically what do I have to lose? Because I've already got a bunch of truffles. If it does trick out, I'll just harvest the truffles and make a video on that. And it's not like I'm hurting for yield right now. So it'll be interesting nonetheless. So yeah, stimulate drought conditions and then give it a good misting, and hopefully it'll activate the fruiting. Sort of like a reverse dunk. And also I got another truffle guy here, shoebox, and these guys have basically pretty much fully colonized. I actually applied a top layer to this, so not a casing as of yet. So I'm thinking I'm also going to basically initiate drought conditions for a couple of hours along with the other ones. And the genetics of this guy is the same as this one, 1D. So as you can see, you know, it is pretty well done. But then you go to the bottom and look at that, tons of truffles. So yeah, these guys are almost at the point where we're gonna harvest them. Oh yes, and somebody has very graciously donated most of the funds required to set up a Martha. This is like an awesome Christmas present, guys. And that was because, well, you know, he said that he's not really interested in having his name being called out, but he said it's okay if I wanted to. So thank you, THC. You know, we've talked a lot, so we know the situation. But yeah, so hopefully there should be some Martha content coming up soon, guys. I'm very excited. Hopefully we could dip our feet into the gourmet world. And yeah, let's see how it goes from here. Love you all, guys. Mycophile Sage, checking out.